We have three main mandates of the National Climate Change Office, right? First, we're responsible to communicate everything climate change related for the country, coordinate everything climate change related for the country, and of course, it is required for us to mainstream everything that deals with climate change and climate change resiliency, both nationally, regionally, and internationally for the country.
The National Climate Change Office was put together since 2012 as a pro tem office, meaning that it was a temporary office that was just implementing projects at that time.
Among those initiatives is the European Global Climate Change Alliance project, which funded the work of the office. The NCCO, as it is also known, has come a long way since then. In 2015, the creation of the National Climate Change Policy, Strategy and Action Plan gave way for the official establishment of the office within government.
That document guides us on the how-to and what are the steps in order to build our resiliency within those vulnerable sectors. It identifies certain scenarios that the country is going to go through and some of the sectors that are going to be impacted by these scenarios.
So the purpose of the National Climate Change Office is to coordinate the national, regional and international response to climate change on behalf of the government of Belize. In terms of the regional response, we work with our CARICOM partners and we work with our Central American partners to implement mitigation and adaptation activities within the region and also here in Belize. In terms of the national response to climate change, our main aim is to ensure the full implementation of the nationally determined contributions and also the National Climate Change Policy, Strategy and Action Plan.
True to its mission, the NCCO manages a lot of activities, including the development of the country's nationally determined contributions to articulate Belize's contribution to the global effort to address climate change. So, the team provides technical support and advice to civil society groups and public sector departments for the mainstreaming of climate change into their policies, plans, and strategies.
We have signed on to what we call the Paris Agreement. It's an accord that has the participation of nearly 200 countries worldwide. And in that accord, these countries have determined that they will do whatever possible to mitigate climate change or to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The emission development strategy is supposed to help us to develop in a climate resilient manner, meaning that we're not only aiming to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to adapt to the impacts of climate change, but we want to ensure that we have socio-economic development.
The National Climate Change Committee guides the overall climate change agenda for the country.
The National Climate Change Office is a secretariat to that committee. It comprises mostly of the priority sectors and senior managers at the CEO level of these priority sectors. Also, to make it a little bit more holistic, they incorporated as well NGO representation, representation from Chamber of Commerce, and also representation from academia. This committee does not work in isolation because there are subcommittees or sub-working groups of this, of the Belize National Climate Change Committee.
These subcommittees, or technical working groups, focus on providing guidance when climate-proofing projects and also when seeking climate finance. An overarching goal of the NCCO is helping you understand just what climate change is and the role that you can play in its mitigation and adaptation. That includes partnering with the Ministry of Education to include climate change awareness into the curriculum.
Climate change studies is unlikely to become a subject by itself, but the issue of climate change is something we have been incorporating into the national curriculum over the past few years. We think that understanding climate in all its different facets and its complexity will help students better understand the specific topic of climate change.
The NCCO continues to partner with various stakeholders to facilitate the implementation of activities which aim to achieve national climate resilience.